Okay, so the NFL released their Color Rush jerseys this time. So I'm thinking of getting either A, the Joe Flacco one, B, the Steve Smith Sr. one, which actually might work for me, out in the wrong one, and somehow CJ Mosley is a third option. There's no other options for like Terrell Suggs or nothing. Yo, it's J Money. You're watching a JMMA production. Okay, still stuck with this fucking brightness then. Great. Alright, so what's going on, internet? It's Jason. It's your boy Jason. So this weekend has been a crazy It's been a crazy weekend. So let's get it in our way. So UFC 203 for great opening match. Sucked. Three matches. Never piqued any interest at all. Despite the third one actually having CM Punk. So one of them having someone I actually wanted to watch. And main event actually at least made it all better, but none of it would actually help out knowing that that UFC 203 event was not not very good, not very good at all. So let me just break this down. The first fight, the women's strawweight fight between Jessica Andrade and Joanne Calderwood. Great, great fight. At least an opener, at least set the tone of like what the night should be. Basically, don't go in there and just dance around the ring, dance around the octagon for 3 rounds and expect anyone to take it seriously. So simple. Just go in, do fight, and actually go in there, try to beat the shit out of one another, and see who wins. See who wins. Pretty good. Next 3 fights sucked. First fight, Jimmy Rivera, Uriah Faber, practically just sucked dick. Pretty much nothing piqued any interest at all. Just ended in the decision for Jimmy Rivera beating Uriah Faber. Okay, nothing there. So next fight, CM Punk Mickey Gall. Now this is a fight that usually is the talk about fight that I wanted to talk about. So CM Punk actually competed in his first made his debut for UFC this year. He sadly lost this fight in 2 minutes and 14 seconds into the very first round. Now, honestly, in my opinion, I thought this fight was going to be a little longer. I knew CM Punk was going to win, but I thought this fight was going to last a little bit longer. Honestly, to me, after that fight, I pretty much wanted to leave because basically I just wanted to go outside and just take a smoke break. And the thing is, I don't smoke, so ended badly for me, and basically just wanted to. So that ended, and I thought, okay, one of these 2 fights better just bring my spirits up. Then the next fight between Breeder Verdum and Travis Brown at least piqued my interest for the second when the start of the fight started out with Breeder Verdum doing a flying kick at Travis Brown. That kind of made it interesting, but after that, it just nothing. After that, it just nothing happened. No swinging, no nothing. It was just boring. After that, and just only highlight, and then the other highlight was basically when Travis Brown's index finger got broken by trying to block a punch. So those are only 2 things that was interesting there. And then next thing you know, the UFC. Then the main event at least worked perfectly. The hometown crowd, loud for CP Miocic. It worked perfectly. You know, Alistair Overeem, that fight was actually pretty good. It started out interesting because they at least actually did well into this fight and actually poured on a great performance. Put on a great fight there. I mean, there was one Alistair Overeem. Looks like Alistair Overeem was going to win the fight, as Alistair Overeem actually had him in the guillotine choke, but somehow Steve Miocic got out of it, and then next thing you know, basically the end of that fight was actually pretty fun to watch. Basically how the knockout happened, it was so perfect. It just basically, if you didn't watch it, simple. Simeon just practically got got Oscar over him down, knocked him down, and then Elise got up, and and basically the best part was actually him on a stacked guard. He actually went straight shots, and then basically he found an opening, and then next thing you know, just clubbing blows, just boom, 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 just straight clubbing blows, and basically just, and then basically, and the best part was actually in slow motion. You saw this. If you saw this in slow motion, it was just basically you saw this dude's head bounce up. Here's the thing: that fight was in Quicken Loans Arena. Basically, if his head bounced like a basketball, like LeBron James, like a basketball being drilled by LeBron James somehow. LeBron James, after the fight, basically they did that OHIO thing in Ohio State, and it was a great fight. Now, that was a great way to end the event. It just didn't. It was mind-numbing. So it was not good. The CM Punk Mickey Gall fight, I just thought simple. I thought it was going to last a little longer. To me, that's honestly all I thought was. It was going to last longer, and to me, at least CM Punk was going to I thought CM Punk would at least make it out of the first round, at least out of the first round, at least make something there. But it didn't come to fruition. CM Punk lost, and well, I mean, now, but the speech after the fight, it was a perfect way to at least say this. At least, yeah, you're gonna get knocked down, but sometimes you gotta get back up again and at least go back out and fight. And that's, to me, the best thing CM Punk could say out that. And that was perfect. And now we'll CM Punk competing in the UFC again. Somehow there's someone said that Dana White said that CM Punk's next fight shouldn't be in the UFC. What does that mean? He's gonna be in Bellator now? Like, I mean, my question is Bellator even relevant? Because honestly, when's Bellator's next fight? Is it actually on Spike? Because honestly, I don't know. So honestly, I'm thinking this. CM Punk's gonna get some more training. He's gonna at least, besides he has a multiple fight deal with UFC, so he is gonna compete in more fights in UFC in the future. I'm just thinking. But honestly, at least try a UFC fight night, at least on maybe UFC fight night will work more perfectly out of this, or something like that. Don't put something like on Fight Pass, which I have to, I don't know, check how much that costs and shit. So honestly, it's something that I think will CM Punk will have another fight in the near future. Just right now, we're just gonna have to wait till see what happens next from there. So honestly, UFC 203 was kind of just boring. That's why I just didn't feel like doing. If you're wondering, like, am I gonna do a live reactions of that? Honestly, no, because basically because nothing really piqued my interest. The only fight I wanted to watch is CM Punk Mickey Gall. All I just wanted to do was just do a video on Facebook Live, and actually that was it. Now, if you do want to know that, I did do a video on UFC Law about this small, like 20-minute-ish video of it on my Facebook. Facebook link is in the description below, and will be in the description below. So if you want to know about that. Now, Backlash. I didn't get a chance to do any, like, I am going to do a Backlash live reactions for sure. I haven't watched the full event out, but honestly, what I've heard was basically this. But I did watch some of the event, and did watch like the last hour and a half of the event. Honestly, to me, I just found it perfect. Actually, I wonder what people have said about. Actually, I think people said positive things about this event overall. Like, to me, I think it's to me. I am saying this that this is a This is that was a great Playground exclusive pay per view, and I think it's basically one of the best pay per views, honestly. So there was like at least 8 matches. One was on the pre-show. 7 were available. So we got, let's see. So if I look at this perfectly, So let's see. Pre-show match was between Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. Baron Corbin beat Apollo Crews 1-on-1. That was a 10-minute match, about 10 minutes long. The next match, so the first match on the card was for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Great match to start the match. Start the event off was crowning a new SmackDown Women's Champion. That is Becky Lynch. Now, the Usos and Hype Bros had a match to qualify for a tag team tournament final. After the Usos, if you didn't know, Usos turned heel on them by taking out American Alpha by injuring Chad Cable's leg. So Usos beat the Hype Bros. Next, The Miz, Dolph Ziggler had a match for Intercontinental Championship, and actually that's a match I did watch. I watched like the ending of Usos Hype Bros. I just thought, well, Usos practically going to win that fight. I thought the Usos was going to win that match, obviously, to me, because honestly that would set up a heel versus face thing. So that's what I thought. There. Miz, Dolph Ziggler, honestly, match of the night by far. I watched that match, and let me say this. This is practically a match what the Intercontinental Championship means. 2 hard workers going in a great techno matchup. And basically the workhorse match, because this one lasted almost 20 minutes, actually. 18 minutes, 22 seconds. So about 20 minutes, actually. That's how long that's the workhorse title. And The Miz practically showing that he can be a main eventer, actually, again, I think. And if he actually does win a world championship again, I hope they give him at least a better push, because honestly, when WWE died was not very good. So next, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton practically didn't happen because Bray Wyatt technically beat Randy Orton by forfeit, but that was just because Bray Wyatt actually just had ended up injuring him, ended up attacking Orton before the match even came to fruition. Basically, so that's what happened there. So that match ended with Bray Wyatt winning by forfeit. Then they actually announced a double spar match. Bray Wyatt's opponent was Kane. That was a good 11-minute match. That was an 11-minute matchup. To me, I'm thinking this. Kane actually doing well in this event. Actually, was kind of pretty good. Actually, seriously, Kane's been around for like 20 years, and basically him doing table spots and all this stuff actually is pretty interesting that he's still going. So that's a good thing. Next match was basically this one is actually a great blow-off. The tag team tournament final for the SmackDown tag titles. And that was Heath Slater and Rhino taking on the Usos. And basically, this is a great story, honestly. To me, honestly, the storyline with Slater trying to get a contract to either Raw or SmackDown was perfect. And especially this one here, because actually, to me, Slater had to win this match to at least earn a contract. And basically, and it kind of, in Usos being a heel in this case, kind of works out perfectly, because imagine if the Usos won the match and won the tag titles, Slater doesn't get his contract, which actually would have added more heat to it, gave him more heat. But since so what happened was, if you want to know, Heath Slater and Rhino won against the Usos. So since Slater and Rhino won, Slater earned a SmackDown contract. After the match, pretty much they It's got a small little promo saying that that you're getting a double wide trailer, which it's okay. And then AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose main event for WWE World Title. If you don't know who won it, then I'm not gonna spoil it for you. But if you do already know, simple. AJ Styles is the champ. Yes, AJ Styles beat Dean Ambrose for the title in a 25-minute long match. AJ Styles is the new WWE World Champion. So if you don't know this, simple. AJ Styles is currently, as of this moment, first person to have held the WWE title, the TNA Heavyweight Championship, and the IWGP Heavyweight Championship in New Japan in his career. The first person in wrestling history to do that, and that is this guy here. Great moment. Know that, and that's honestly what's going on. So, that's what happened. You want to know. So, next match. The next match. So, what does that mean now going into this? So, last night on SmackDown Live, if you want to know, AJ Styles got a promo. John Cena is now back. John Cena just came back. He's back on WWE programming. The next match he will have is at No Mercy this coming year. He will be at this moment at No Mercy. No Mercy, which will be in December. Which will be in October the 9th. On October 9th. That'll be in Sacramento, California. So far, there are already 2 matches already scheduled. The first match will be a triple threat match between AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, and John Cena. Triple threat for the WWE World Title. And the next match will be Becky Lynch defending her newly won SmackDown Women's title against Alexa Bliss. That is going to be a great match. I say this. What can we expect? So the question is, that's SmackDown's case. What about on Raw? So, Kevin Owens, if you didn't know, Kevin Owens won the WWE Universal Championship. Seth Rollins is now a face. What can we expect now from the NFL? So what can we now expect from Raw? So what about on Raw? So there was a chance that they teased a triple threat at Clash Champions, which is actually going to be next Sunday. Will be next Sunday at here. Will be in Indianapolis. Am I gonna go with that? I mean, it's interesting, but honestly, I'm probably not gonna go. I mean, but there are 4 matches already scheduled. There's probably gonna be more coming up in the future. Right now, we got Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins for the WWE Universal Championship. The New Day take on Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships. Why would they add the Raw Tag Team? Doesn't make sense. I get it, because I know they're trying to break this bracelet. So now Charlotte takes on Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Championship, which actually, so that's the third match. So that's the third match from there. Then we have Sami Zayn versus Chris Jericho, which is a match which is I think will be maybe a show stealer actually, because when you think about it, you see this match because Sami Zayn Chris Jericho is probably a fantasy book, which is actually a fantasy dream match, which we'll get to see in real life. And honestly, I think that's the match. I think that's a match we have not seen before. So, hey, there's something positive out of that. So yeah, that's a match we have not even seen before. So So hey, we at least that's what we're so that's what we got from there. So that's what we have from there. So what can we? So now the thing is, now so that's what's going on from Raw and SmackDown. What's gonna I think this so Backlash probably one of the best pay per views WWE has produced because it was more matches. Because it led to more matches. It was more of like a wrestling pay per view than like than this thing. Now here's the thing. Usually pay per views last like 3 hours. This one lasted good 2.5 hours. It was like if you watch wrestling, if you watch WWE in the 90s, they had like a short 2.5 hour pay per view series called In Your House. It was kind of like watching one of those. It was a shorter pay per view, which basically was just more wrestling, less promos, no filler, nothing, just straight up do wrestling, straight up wrestling, and basically each. Now you may have some might be not good, and some may be good, some may be bad, maybe average at best. But this one, all of them just nailed each one perfectly. Just it was straight up rapid fire, just boom, 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 just nailed it, which nailed the match perfectly, which nailed everything perfectly, actually. So now, what can we expect from, on WWE, SmackDown, we got this. So, on SmackDown and No Mercy, basically that triple threat match is kind of interesting, so, didn't know what happened last night. So, last night, they actually had this triple threat match, basically, Cena challenged Styles in that attempt, while Ambrose invoked his rematch clause, and the opening promo last night was actually pretty good. Actually, Cena pretty much was made some birds at Ambrose for talking about because Styles actually won the title with so if you didn't know, simple. So of course, why this triple threat happened? It's kind of started at SummerSlam. So at SummerSlam style, AJ Styles beats John Cena clean. Yeah, so if you did not know that, guess what? It happened. That's what happened. We still marking out to this day. So, guess what happened? Next, Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles. So, because of that, it earned Styles a WWE World Championship match against Dean Ambrose at Backlash, which Styles won after a low blow to Ambrose while the referee wasn't looking, and a Styles clash. 2 days later, Cena came back on programming, first time since SummerSlam, on WWE programming since SummerSlam, in an attempt to be a 16-time world champion, just like Ric Flair, tied the records Ric Flair set a long time ago. So, but after that, Ambrose invoked his rematch clause against Styles, and Ambrose pretty much was pissed that AJ Styles hit him with a low blow, yet 2 weeks beforehand, he pretty much hung him on the ropes by his crotch. So it basically Cena talked about Ambrose not having any balls, and then Ambrose called Cena a lazy part-timer, which basically was two great cold burns, and practically a great promo, actually, to start the night off. Then Shane McMahon, who's SmackDown commissioner, then decided to book the match as a triple threat match. Later in the night, later in the night, in the main event, Dean Ambrose and John Cena teamed up to beat AJ Styles and The Miz in a tag match in the main event. And then afterwards, Ambrose delivered Dirty Deeds to Cena. And Ambrose got booed. And Cena got cheered for... Yeah, imagine that. In 2016, a whole crowd cheered for Cena. And here's the thing, that was in Philly. In Philadelphia. This is the place where Roman Reigns got booed the year before by winning the Royal Rumble. Then later on, towards the end of the year, won the title, and people cheered the shit out of that. somehow Ambrose, a guy who deserved a push, got cheered at Royal Rumble. Now got booed, and Cena, who practically gets like a mixed reaction all the time of like basically in WWE makes money off it of the "Let's go Cena sucks" chants, practically always divided. So yeah, AJ Styles, John Cena, Dean Ambrose, WWE World Title Triple Threat, No Mercy. I think it's going to be a good match. We'll probably hear more of what's going on later on in the next upcoming weeks. But honestly, the new brand section looks great. Honestly, looks great. Honestly, and I think it's going to do practically pretty well for a while. So why don't we move on to sports? So, let's move on to sports now. So, the NFL season kicked off this past Thursday about a week ago. Yeah, I just said about a week ago. So, now, Bobby Schmurder thing. Insert Bobby Schmurder about a week ago song now into this. Now, so yeah, NFL season started on Thursday, where with the Broncos versus the Panthers Super Bowl rematch. And one of the things about it is basically just earlier today they actually fined Broncos safety Darian Stewart and Broncos linebacker Robert Marshall some fines. Fined them. It weren't excessive, and there was no suspensions or anything like that for their helmet-to-helmet hits on Panthers quarterback Cam Newton. Honestly, the NFL is like, we need to make sure this game's safe. I don't know what was up there, so there's probably reasons why that just happened. So I don't know what exactly drove those two players to at least target at Mr. Newton's head. That's what's going on there. Leg itching like crazy. Calm down. Leg. So earlier just did. Sorry. So earlier today, ACC is moving all their neutral site title games away from North Carolina because of their law on the issue with the bathroom issues. So, it's bathroom issues. Speaking of which, one thing is the NFL. Speaking of which, now moving on, with the man, I am having a hard time with what I'm trying to say. Okay, big thing is the Chicago Cubs. They are one game away from winning their division after beating the St. Louis Cardinals 7-0 earlier today. I don't know why I'm having a hard time with shit today. I don't know why. So, right now, the Orioles and Red Sox are right now competing. Reason why is right now it's important because both players are currently in position for their division, which kind of will help them out. Which helps them out when it comes of either A, guaranteed a home series, which guarantees either one a series and mostly a guaranteed spot in a series instead of competing in one wild card game, just one game and a 1 game session, which either A good or bad. So it's questionable. So Anyway, this Sunday, Ravens played against the Bills. The game was so the Ravens on Sunday played the Buffalo Bills earlier today. Ravens won 13 to 7 over the Bills opening game. So the Ravens started their season off 1-0. They took on Cleveland, the Browns in Cleveland, and they are 0-1 after losing to the Eagles. First of all, which I honestly, to me, honestly, this is kind of, to me, I'm kind of just saying this to myself. If Ravens beat the Browns, then honestly, in my opinion, this is kind of an easy game here. This is probably just an easy blowout right here. It basically, it's, to me, honestly, I kind of want to do is just sim the next few weeks out. Basically, honestly, in my opinion, I feel like just sim the whole season. Just honestly sim the Ravens, some of the Ravens games till the real season starts, which is November 6th, aka my birthday, in case you want to. It's my birthday, so this is what happened. So this is what we got. Tomorrow, we got the Jets versus the Bills in Buffalo. We got over in the Ravens-Browns game on Sunday. Bengals-Steelers is also in the game. Bengals-Steelers, which is going to be a rivalry, and basically chances are someone's going to get knocked the fuck out with concussions. So that's what's going to happen. Titans take on the Lions. Cowboys, Redskins, basically another rivalry game. Saints, Giants, always an interesting game there. 49ers, Panthers. 49ers take on the Panthers. Dolphins, Patriots. Patriots could win this one. Chiefs take on Texans. Playoff rematch. Let's see if basically I'm probably sure that I think the Chiefs won this one. So I think Texans are looking for revenge. Seahawks, Rams. Basically, every time somehow a game happens in, so probably Rams win if history served me right. Of all times, recent history served me right. Bucks, Cardinals. Cardinals win. Law. Jaguars, Chargers. Chargers win. Raiders, Falcons. Toss up there. Colts, Broncos. Colts, Broncos. Then at the first regular season home game, Vikings take on the Packers. Primetime on NBC. And then we got on Monday night, we got Eagles versus Bears. We got the Eagles versus the Bears. Okay, so honestly, in my opinion, to me, I'm not really care very much about most of the. Honestly, I'm just thinking this. To me, the Ravens are probably going to win at Cleveland. To me, honestly, I just want to do is use Madden Veil 17 and sim through to week 8. Sim the rest next few weeks to week 8. Seriously, just go on, man, and just say, okay, so, alright, Jags win. Okay, congratulations, Jacksonville, you guys won a game. Congratulations, Jags, you guys won a game. Doesn't matter, it's practically a preseason game. We're focused on a real game, and basically for real game, the real season starts off on November 6th. Again, your boy's birthday. Seriously. Speaking of which, actually, on November, now, the NFL has shown the new Color Rush jerseys that are going to be available. And if you didn't know, the Ravens Color Rush jerseys are basically simple. are basically are actually all purple. Now on NFL Shop, somehow only free jersey options I could find is either it's a the is a the the only free options I could find for real is the free options the Ravens have in these color rush jerseys is the I'm hard time today. They have A, Joe Flacco, B, Steve Smith Sr., and then number 3 is CJ Mosley. Honestly, in my opinion, I probably wouldn't have. My first thought wouldn't have been. My first thought wouldn't have been the Mr. Wouldn't have been Mr. CJ Mosley. I was honestly thinking they would have done like at least Mr. Done Terrell Suggs or Elvis Dumerville, but not really. We have Mr. CJ Mosley. Correct, but hey, CJ Mosley deserves some respect. At least deserves some. I mean, it shows that basically he is. I honestly don't know. What at least do is actually get a. So there's free options. I might get a Steve Smith Sr. jersey actually, at least, because actually that seems like a better jersey, honestly, in my opinion, than getting like a. Honestly, that seems like a better jersey by the looks of it. And actually, it costs $80 actually. Now I don't know. There's two different types of jerseys. One is called a Legend jersey, and then the other is called a Limited jersey. I think mine is actually a Limited jersey. I think that's why it's. I guess. Let me look at the difference between these two. Actually, what's the difference between a Limited jersey and then seriously, what's really the difference between those two? So let's see. Okay, so it's stitched on there instead of like printed. So it's basically just, and it says here machine washable, but you dry it on like a clothing line. And it's officially licensed and it's imported. So yeah, that's one of the things. One of these is actually I want to at least create a customized jersey, but somehow every time I try to go on NFLshop.com and try to click on custom shop, it keeps saying this. Oops, we couldn't find the page you requested, and apologize for any inconvenience this caused. So basically, I can't really create my own. I wonder why. I don't know why would they actually do that. I think that's because it's basically you can just create one yourself by just buying, I guess. Well, I don't know. It's, to me, I'm like, it's just. So that's basically, so yeah, that's okay. So basically, like, so yeah, if you actually want to, so yeah, if you actually, which ones do you actually think I should get, actually, I want to know what you guys want me to get. Either A, Joe Flacco jersey, B, CJ Mosley's jersey, or B, Steve Smith Sr.'s jersey, which actually is practically the one I probably want most out of it. And then basically I was gonna, if they actually do have more options later on, I'm hoping they do, because honestly, I mean, no offense to TJ Mosley, but honestly, I would rather have like an Elvis Dumerville or Terrell Suggs. Heck, Justin Tucker's jersey. Fuck it. Just, no offense to CJ Mosley, but I just think basically any of those three would have been better than CJ Mosley. But hey, congratulations, CJ Mosley. Now, please do something. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about football season right now. So that's basically, and But also the big thing for this season, this one. Now, this is the big news, and we all know why. And that is today, that's going to happen this Saturday at noon. U of L plays Florida State. U of L plays Florida State in a top 10 matchup. As if you don't know what's so big about this game, simple, easy, because both schools are practically just already. This is a top 10 matchup, and basically it's simple. Reason why is because it's basically a close matchup. It's the thing. So, if you didn't know much about it, it's simple. If you didn't know, here's the thing. If you watch any NFL of this college game, it is a close matchup between both schools because basically both schools have thrashed the ever-living piss out of pretty well. Okay, let's be honest. So, if you don't know much about, it's simple. Florida State is 2-0, number 2 in the nation, coming into Papa John's Cardinal Stadium, take on U of L in a conference matchup. This will be Florida State's first conference matchup this season, as Louisville already has a conference win on their belts by soundly beating Syracuse. As Florida State last week came off destroying Charleston Southern. So, from this preview here on ESPN, according to the preview here on ESPN.com, yes, I'm practically cheating here. So, okay, yeah, I'm practically cheating on here. So, don't judge me here on this. Jeez, I still don't know why I don't know if I want. Okay, preview. Come on. Oh, this thing just wants to be retired, or just what's going on here? Come on, pop up so much. Okay, well, in that case, taking as long as on. No. Yes. And okay, there we are. So, the first thing was, if you,
through the first 2 weekends of the season.
why is it always this? Why is ESPN always pop up like a me? Shut the fuck up. Honestly, I do have DirecTV, but look, shut the fuck up and let me do because I'm trying to at least do a video. You're just in cock blocks right now. So, let me start this off. So, if you didn't know what happened from what happened, so Florida State is number 2 after being number 3 in the nation. Florida State, because of Florida State thrashing Charleston Southern and also with Clemson narrowly beating Troy University 30-24, the Seminoles leapfrogged their team. Now, so one thing is actually one of the big things was because of this victory, Florida State probably lost. It says here that they lost their best player. Florida State probably lost their best player on looks like on the defensive side of the ball. So, what does that mean? Because all preseason All-American defensive back Durham Jones for Florida State suffered a cartilage tear in his left knee during the Charleston Southern game and could be out as long as 10 weeks. Or as small as 2. So, either way, he's not going to be playing in this game at all this Saturday. So, now, he did not tear his ACL. That is, if he tore his ACL, season's done. No question about it. But he's not. But the thing is, he was injured at a time when Florida State was already way ahead, so it was fine. Now, it wasn't like anything bad like a Teddy Bridgewater's ACL, but this injury is going to be of the game. Who is going in basically that's going to keep him out of the game against Cardinals, which basically means this: the Cardinals are coming into the game with, as of this moment right now, the number 1 rated offense in the NCAA's Division I, or the FBS, if you want to call it, led by right now, which some people are saying, the current Heisman Trophy front runner, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson at quarterback. Basically, if you haven't watched the past two games, he is pretty much right now. He is basically has performed so many great plays, and Florida State's defense has allowed more 20-plus yard pass plays than any team in a Power 5 conference. So, if that means this, since basically if you've seen the past couple of games where Lamar Jackson and Louisville has thrown a lot of like deep bombs, that is trouble for Florida State's defense if you think about it. Despite the numbers and all that stuff, despite those early numbers and that hype, Louisville coach Robert Petrino says that his team is entering this weekend with something to prove. They've been to the championship game. They've got a ring on their finger. We knew that if we were going to make a run in this conference or run to get to the goal that we want, that we had to find a way to beat them. So we are looking forward to the matchup. Lamar Jackson last week being the first player in ACC history with total offense with his 610 yards against Syracuse. He wound up with 411 yards passing and 199 rushing. It was over 200 yards rushing late in the game before losing a few late in the contest. Practically he lost a few yards from sacks, maybe. So he said this, Lamar Jackson said of his performance, I did good, I guess, but I still have room for improvement. I made a lot of bad reads, but I think I did alright. Seminoles have their own Heisman candidate in junior running back Dalvin Cook. He is expected to carry even more on the load this week, both on the field and from a leadership standpoint. As Jimbo Fisher said of Dalvin Cook, we're pleased how he's playing as he actually tallied 400 and 192 combined yards rushing and receiving in a season opener against Ole Miss, and then scored twice in the home opener against the Buccaneers of Charleston Southern, racking up 83 yards in a little over 2 quarters of work. That's still where he was last year, 7.5 yards a carry. He had a first run, 100-yard receiving game. He's just evolving and developing as a player in different ways. Now, it says this. So from last year, Dalvin Cook piled up 223 yards, which is 163 yards rushing and 60 receiving. And also scored twice against Cardinals last. It is basically simple. Like I said before, this is the first time. The first time beforehand the first time. This is the Seminoles' first ACC game. Louisville began their current state last Friday against Syracuse with a 60-28 outright on the Orange. Now, this is the 17th time that these two teams are playing overall, but this is the third time as they are conference opponents. Third time as conference opponents. Now, Florida State has won the previous two such games, but they trailed both games. Now, if you don't remember, 2014 in Louisville's first season, we ended up having a 21-0 lead in the second quarter before, of course, Jameis Winston, Heisman Trophy winner, routed the Seminoles to a thrilling 31 win. Last year in Tallahassee, the Cardinals led 7-6 at the half, but the Noles took over and romped to a 41-21 win over there. Now, that's what's going on there here. Now, they are giving the Noles actually a. So it says here right now they're about a little over half the country is giving the nod to the Noles, according to ESPN's Power Football Index. FSU wins the game, and the spread here is by 2 points. Simple. Now, the tail of the tape here. So, you look at the tail of the tape here. So, let's say this. Let me look at this carefully. So, our tail of the tape in this game here. As we look into this one here, Louisville has scored more points per game with 66 compared to 40.5 by Florida State. Both men have allowed the same points per game in 21. Basically, a point differential. If you look at it in point differential, Louisville has won by a point differential of 45 points, as Florida State has actually point differential is by about 28. In total yards for the offensive side of the ball, Louisville has produced at least 754 yards a game in both games for all. An average of 411 yards in passing with 343 yards in rushing for a combined total of 1,754 yards per game. Compared to what actually Florida State has is a 509. 334 yards again passing and 165 yards rushing there. And now the small little difference is the yards allowed in the defensive side of the ball. For Florida State, it is right here, 337 yards allowed compared to Louisville's 311 yards difference. So right now, on paper, it looks like Louisville has like a bigger advantage right now, as it says here. But let's look at this carefully. But we gotta look at this a little carefully here, but we gotta at least look at some careful things here. So what does this say? So what is it according to Facebook, which basically on Facebook accounts, basically people are going to say a lot of things. So I'm thinking this. So people are going to say that. So people are going to say this. Noles win. A lot of people are saying Noles win, and all this and a lot of things here, and basically some are brightly going to be will be very crazy. So here's the thing. So let's see here. So it's going to be close. I'm thinking this. So the over under here is 66 points. So is it going to be, so according to this, I'm thinking this. Is it going to, so will the Cards win this game? I mean, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. It's at home. It's a home field advantage. College game day is going to be in Louisville. So so here's the thing. People will say this. It's a top 10 matchup. will Louisville actually pull it off? Honestly, I don't know. It's dicey for a bit. It's a little dicey in this case. So the question is, if Louisville wins, it's going to be an interesting matchup. It's an interesting matchup. Honestly, it's dicey, really. It's honestly a little dicey if Louisville wins. But if Louisville does, if Louisville loses, it's, to me, if it keep it close, then I say this. This is a sign that Louisville is competitive, can be a competitive threat to the ACC, but not good enough to at least get it done. But if Louisville wins, this is a big matchup, big win, and it's probably going to be the biggest win for. And actually, this will probably be possibly the biggest win in Louisville's career in football, other than the ones at Florida in the Sugar Bowl, other than the one in the Sugar Bowl, and the one in Alabama 25 years ago. About 25 years ago. It's going to be a significant game. We just got to see what happens from there. So I say this. I say Louisville wins. I'm going to say this. I believe this. Louisville will win. But it's going to be razor sharp. Right by a razor thin margin. That's all I'm saying. It's going to be by a field goal or somewhere along the lines of a field goal or something within the last minute of the game. It's so close that it's probably going to be like, by the end of it, it could turn out to be one of the biggest game, probably a game of the year, possibly, just by the last 2 minutes of the game itself. That's all I think. From there. Honestly, I don't know. It's an interesting story. I'm thinking it's going to be something that's going to be close, just razor close, and it ends with one of these teams winning. That's all I can say. Honestly, that's my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Let me know about this in the comments below. Right now, I'm actually about to go in and take my shower soon, so I gotta get to work soon. So I love you guys. I'll see you guys. I hope to see you guys. I'll probably talk about the game after later and this ends. I'll see you guys later. Hope to do a Backlash live reaction soon. Holler at your boy. Leave a like, share, subscribe to the channel, and everything. So until next time, money out, peace out, later guys.